Now, it's been 150 days of Sir Keir Starmer as Prime Minister. It's been the kind of car crash that the M6 will be proud of. But forget the 150 days. I've been off for 2 and a bit weeks. Let's just have a look at what's happened in that short space of time. We've had farmers' protests. Then it emerged that Labour was crippling British farmers to raise £520 million, but they're giving away £516 million to foreign farmers in foreign aid. Keir Starmer then, quotes, fled like a rat out of the back door whilst farmers protested the Welsh Labour.
Keir Starmer's recent apology to British society was more than a routine political gesture. It was a plea for help in the face of mounting public anger and dissatisfaction. After enduring months of relentless criticism and with his leadership under intense scrutiny, Starmer finally took this step. His apology has ignited a nationwide debate, especially following controversial policies like pension cuts and a sharp increase in inheritance taxes affecting farmers. These decisions fueled widespread outrage and distrust. Far from being accidental, these policies were deliberate moves, revealing a calculated strategy that has left many questioning the true motives behind his leadership. Remember the slogan, "Global Britain"? What sounded like a rallying cry for unity now feels like a facade. Beneath the surface, it concealed policies that lacked genuine public support, all while pretending nothing was amiss. Starmer has now admitted to significant mistakes, recognizing the disconnect between his government's priorities and the needs of the people. But why now? Clearly, immense pressure has been mounting. Labour's popularity is waning, and even Starmer's closest allies are starting to question his leadership. In an unusual display of humility, he has called for a reset, acknowledging that he has not lived up to the expectations of the British people. However, the British public deserves more than just an apology. This level of failure is not merely a matter of bad luck or external circumstances. It was a calculated approach, one that sought to reshape Britain under the guise of progress. Policies were designed to liberalize immigration and use Brexit as a vehicle to transform the nation into an open border experiment. The outrage is palpable, and the timing couldn't be more critical. A petition demanding Starmer's resignation has garnered over 3 million signatures, reflecting the depth of public discontent. Initially dismissive, Starmer's delayed acknowledgement of this unrest has only exacerbated the sense of betrayal. Adding to the controversy is the revelation of personal financial gains among top Labour leaders. Reports suggest that Starmer, now a landlord, could be earning substantial sums from renting out properties, including a home purchased for £650,000 in 2004, now worth £2 million. Similarly, Chancellor Rachel Reeves reportedly earned £74,000 annually from rental properties, showcasing a stark disconnect between their wealth and the struggles of ordinary citizens. These revelations have fueled criticism of a two-tier system, where the powerful profit while everyday people face rising costs and limited support. Starmer's attempt to rebrand Labour as a party of change is being viewed with skepticism, as many question whether these efforts are genuine or merely a desperate bid to cling to power. Even more shocking are the recent decisions surrounding Britain's justice system. Serious criminals are being released early to make room for rioters and individuals accused of online hate speech, creating a perception of unequal treatment under the law. The public's frustration is evident, and Starmer's reset may be his last chance to regain their trust. His ambitious promises of change must be matched by tangible actions that address the cost of living, rebuild the economy, and prioritize the needs of ordinary people. The question remains, is this apology too little, too late? With only 150 days left before the next election, the stakes are higher than ever. Starmer's leadership hangs by a thread, and the damage done over the past months may prove irreversible if immediate, meaningful reforms are not implemented. The British people are demanding more than empty words. They want real solutions. Starmer's ability to rise to the occasion will determine whether he can salvage his leadership or if this moment marks the end of the road. Keir Starmer's apology to the British public, though highly publicized, has done little to quell the growing dissatisfaction with his leadership. For many, this apology came too late and felt disingenuous, a calculated move aimed at salvaging what remains of his political career. The public has grown weary of empty promises and hollow rhetoric, and this latest attempt to address their grievances may only deepen the divide. Over the past months, Labour's controversial policies, particularly cuts to pensions and increased inheritance taxes affecting farmers, have fueled anger among key voter bases. These decisions weren't merely perceived as misguided. They were seen as deliberate acts that prioritize political strategy over the well-being of ordinary citizens. The idea of global Britain, once a rallying cry for a stronger, more unified nation, now feels like a bitter irony. Beneath the surface, it masked a series of policies that fundamentally altered the country's fabric without the consent or support of its people. This was not an oversight or a misstep. It was a calculated choice, one that has left many wondering whether their voices were ever truly heard. The timing of Starmer's apology is no coincidence. With Labour's approval ratings in steady decline and his leadership under fire even from within his own party, this move was a desperate attempt to regain control. The sheer scale of public backlash, including a petition demanding his resignation that has surpassed 3 million signatures, underscores the depth of the discontent. Initially dismissive of the petition, even laughing it off, Starmer misjudged the public's anger. This flippant attitude has only solidified the perception of a leader out of touch with the struggles and frustrations of the people he claims to serve. Adding fuel to the fire are revelations about the personal financial dealings of Starmer and his closest allies. Reports indicating that the Prime Minister is earning substantial sums from renting out properties, including one valued at over £2 million, have created a sense of betrayal. Similarly, Chancellor Rachel Reeves has come under scrutiny for her own lucrative property portfolio, which reportedly generates tens of thousands in rental income each year. At a time when ordinary citizens are grappling with skyrocketing living costs, these disclosures paint a picture of a government disconnected from the realities of everyday life. This stark contrast between the struggles of the public and the privileges of those in power has amplified calls for accountability and reform. Starmer's leadership faces an uphill battle, with his credibility and authority increasingly questioned. The controversy surrounding his policies is not limited to economic matters. The justice system has also become a focal point of public outrage. Reports of serious criminals being released early to make room for rioters and individuals accused of online hate speech have fueled perceptions of a two-tier system. This sense of unequal treatment under the law has struck a nerve, further eroding trust in Starmer's government. Against this backdrop of discontent, Starmer's call for a reset appears less like a bold new direction and more like a last-ditch effort to salvage his political standing. The public's skepticism is understandable. They've heard promises of change before, only to see them amount to little more than empty gestures. If Starmer hopes to regain their trust, he must go beyond apologies and vague commitments. He needs to present concrete, actionable solutions that address the cost of living crisis, bolster the economy, and prioritize the needs of ordinary citizens over the interests of the wealthy and powerful. The challenge for Starmer is immense. Public trust, once lost, is incredibly difficult to rebuild. His delayed response to widespread criticism has left a lingering sense of betrayal, and many are questioning whether his leadership is capable of delivering the genuine change the country so desperately needs. The apology, while necessary, may not be enough to repair the damage done. Words alone cannot erase the frustration and anger felt by millions of Britons who feel let down by a government that promised so much and delivered so little. Starmer's political survival hinges on his ability to turn this moment of crisis into an opportunity for meaningful reform. This will require more than just policy adjustments. It will demand a complete overhaul of Labour's approach to governance and a renewed commitment to listening to the voices of the people. However, the window of opportunity is closing rapidly. With only 150 days until the next election, Starmer's time to prove himself is running out. Each passing day without tangible progress further cements the perception of a leader who is out of touch and out of time. The public's disillusionment with Starmer extends beyond specific policies or decisions. It is rooted in a broader sense of frustration with a political system that seems increasingly disconnected from their lives. The rising cost of living, stagnant wages, and an overburdened healthcare system are just some of the challenges facing Britons today. Against this backdrop, the government's perceived indifference and mismanagement have only deepened the divide between the political class and the electorate. Starmer's apology and promise of a fresh start will be judged not by his words but by his actions. The public is no longer willing to accept empty reassurances. They want to see real, tangible results. This means addressing the root causes of the nation's challenges, from economic inequality to social division, with bold and decisive action. Anything less will be seen as a continuation of the same failed policies and empty promises that have brought us to this point. Can Keir Starmer turn things around, or has the damage already been done? Share your thoughts in the comments, and we'll see you next time.